It's time
for wrestling.
Tuesday.
Hey y'all, how's everybody doing? Ronald Ray here, your boy with a cornbread accent. Welcome you to this week's episode of Wrestling Trivia Tuesday. Hopefully everybody had a good weekend. Hopefully everybody's got a good start of the week. And above all else, if you're either working or playing outside, please stay hydrated. It is definitely hot outside. Anyway, uh, this is Wrestling Trivia Tuesday. This is your first time watching. What I do is every Tuesday I ask 5 questions, all dealing with the sport of professional wrestling. So, if you're a long time watcher or a first time watcher, leave a comment. Say anywhere from saying hello to let me know how you did on today's questions. Also, drop a like button if you're entertained, and be a champ and click on that subscribe button. With all that out of the way, let's let it rip. All right, here we go. Let the games begin with question number one. Question number one. Who is credited for inventing the GTS Go to Sleep finisher? Was it A, CM Punk, B, Kenta, or C, Tank? All right. Question number one again. Who is credited for inventing the GTS Go to Sleep finisher? Was it A, CM Punk, B, Kenta, or C, Tank? The answer is B, Kenta. Of course, CM Punk, I guess, is the one who brought it to the States and got it, kind of got it over with him in the States using it. He admitted it, that he did steal it from Kenta, which Kenta is still, I think he's in his feels a little bit about it, so I don't know if he's kind of working everybody or just he really is in his feels about it, because when he did come to the WWE under the NXT banner, I think they told him to pick another move. But then when CM Punk got released, he finally got to hit it, yada, yada, yada. Now, the first time I got to see it was by the man named Tank here at the end. Watched it, was at a independent wrestling show. I believe I think it was still NWA Wildside at the time. Could have been just becoming Anarchy. Anyway, that was the first time I seen it, and that was for CM Punk got on the main roster, even in ECW, whatever. So first person I seen use it was Tank. Of course, I didn't watch a lot of Japanese stuff at the time, so I didn't see Kenta work as much. Then when I did read that, that was kind of like his move, and I watched some old stuff he seemed to be pretty good, but for whatever reason, just didn't work out for him here in America and the WWE. All right, let's go to question number two. All right, question number two. Who was the former Philadelphia Flyers player that served as special referee for the Cactus Jack and Kevin Sullivan versus the Nasty Boys match at Slamboree 94? Was it A, Bill Barber, B, Bobby Clark, or C, David Schultz? No, not the same Dr. D. David Schultz, who was from Tennessee, and he was a professional wrestler. And I don't think this David Schultz, I think he slapped a few people around, but I don't think he ever slapped John Stossel around. All right, question number two again. Who was the former Philadelphia Flyers player that served as special referee for the Cactus Jack, Kevin Sullivan? Oh, I misspelled Kevin Sullivan. Son of a gun. Anyway, too late now. Kevin Sullivan versus Nasty Boys match at Slamboree 94. Was it A. Bill Barber, B. Bobby Clark, or C. David Schultz? The answer is C. David Schultz. Yes, I think they call him Hammer or something like that. Back in his day, it was part of the what they call it, Philly Bombers or something. I know very little about hockey, but I just did my research about it yesterday. And I totally forgot. Anyway, yeah, he's the one who served as special referee, and of course, when I first heard about it, and I was like, oh, well, this is a legend reunion, so they're bringing in Dr. D. David Schultz. No, it's the hockey player David Schultz. So I particularly was kind of disappointed in that. What say you guys? Was you around for Slamboree '94 and heard that David Schultz was going to be a special referee and was disappointed that it wasn't Dr. D. David Schultz who stuck up for the business and slapped John Stossel when he called it fake? That mother. All right, here we go. Question number 3. A little bit of a softball question here. I think people should be able to get this one. Who was not a member of the Aces and Eights? This was the group that was headed by Bubba Ray Dudley. Of course, they did a whole revealing thing. It's like who's the leader? Who's the leader? And they, Bubba Ray turned out to be a leader. But who was not a member of the Aces and Eights? Was it A. Wes Briscoe, B. Carl Anderson, or C. Luke Gallows? All right. Question number 3. Who was not a member of the Aces and Eights? Was it A. Wes Briscoe, B. Carl Anderson, or C. Luke Gallows? The answer is B. Carl Anderson. Even though Luke Gallows, who they just called Doc at the time, he was a member. Wes Briscoe, along with forgot Eric Bischoff's kid, he was a member of it. Even Devon got to be a member of it. Ken Anderson or uh, Ken Kennedy, whatever you want to call, or Mr. Anderson, Mr. Kennedy, uh, whoever you want to call him, he was a member of it, but not Carl Anderson. He was not a member. And I used to listen to a podcast called Kevin Castle and Don Tony. Don Tony would call the Aces and Eights Aces and 0.8s because that's the kind of ratings they were getting at the time. Anyway, let's go to question number 4. All right, question number 4. Who held the short-lived CWA Super Heavyweight Championship more times? Of course, this was the Memphis territory. I think it was around 86 and 87, or 87, 88. It's a championship was short-lived because it had a lot of big guys, like big guys, there at one time. So they developed a super heavyweight championship. So anyway, which one of these 3 gentlemen held held more times? Was it A. Goliath, B. Giant Hillbilly, or C. Jerry Crusher Blackwell? All right. Who held the short-lived CWA Super Heavyweight Championship more times? Was it A. Goliath, B. Giant Hillbilly, or C. Jerry Blackwell? The answer is Giant Hillbilly. Of course, Giant Hillbilly, more famous being called Uncle Elmer. In the I think it was kind of called Uncle Elmer everywhere after that, but I think they changed it back to Giant Hillbilly in Memphis. Maybe trademark thing or whatever. But the other 2 guys, they each held it. Well, I think Goliath held it a couple of times. Jerry Blackwell held it once. Like I said, this was short-lived. I barely remember it. I remember them advertising it. I remember reading about it in the magazine. Just didn't see it much on Memphis TV, or I could have just totally forgot about it. But anyway, yes, Uncle Elmer was I believe he was the last champion as well. Alright, here we go. Main event, question number 5. This might be a little bit of a toughie here. Who did Dick the Bruiser and Bill Miller defeat to win the WWA Tag Team Championship? I believe this was 1970. Was A. Jack and Jim Dillinger, the Chain Gang, B. The Blackjacks, or C. The Fabulous Kangaroos? All right. Who did Dick the Bruiser and Bill Miller defeat to win the WWA Tag Team Championships? This was a territory in Indianapolis. Was it A. Jack and Jim Dillinger, B. The Blackjacks, or C. The Fabulous Kangaroos? The answer is, whoops, is A. Jack and Jim Dillinger. I think Jim Dillinger wound up being Chris Colt. Watch his story on the Vice Dark Side of the Ring. Had special about him. The Blackjacks, I think, held it. I don't know if it was the same year or a couple years afterwards. Of course, that's Blackjack Mulligan and Blackjack Lanza. And of course, the Fabulous Kangaroos, I think they held it a good many times. Anyway, that answers the question portion of this week's Wrestling Trivia Tuesday. Of course, this is what you're watching right now. It's Wrestling Trivia Tuesday. Every Tuesday, I ask 5 questions dealing with this sport of professional wrestling, and usually have it up by 10 a.m. on Tuesday mornings. So check that out. Also, I do a WWE Raw recap show. I usually try to have that up either Tuesday evening or Wednesday evening. Just kind of depends on the work thing, you know. Also, I do a recap of AEW Dynamite. I usually try to have that up on Thursday evenings. And speaking of Thursday evenings, I do a live cast. Yes, I sit here, I talk to everybody live, talked about just some wrestling news and a little bit of my opinions about them. It's called Spot Show Live Stream. Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, 5 p.m. Pacific, 9 a.m. Saturday morning or Friday morning in Japan, 5 a.m. Friday morning in India. Of course, this week I'll touch on some news and give a prediction of this Sunday's AEW Forbidden Door pay-per-view. Now, if you're not digging today's wrestling, I got something for you. Friday night, I do another live stream called Wrestling Gold Friday Night, where we talk about the good old days of pro wrestling, back when wrestling was real, because it was real to us, damn it. Anyway, every Friday night, it's 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, 5 p.m. Pacific, 9 a.m. Saturday morning in Japan, and 5 a.m. Saturday morning in India. And yes, I will be doing a watch along of Florida Wrestling, but cannot do it like I did last time because I am still. I'm pretty sure if you try to watch the replay of last Friday's Wrestling Gold Friday Night, it's probably got a bunch of silent moments and a bunch of cut moments because man, I got copyright hit every which way but loose. Even Bruce Springsteen hit me up with a copyright, so a lot of music, probably a lot of footage is out of that one. So gonna have to do like we did it the week before last. Just I'll give you the link, open up another window, or use another device. Watch it as you watch that while you watch me run my mouth. Anyway, like I said, this does it for this week's Wrestling Trivia Tuesday. Hopefully everybody enjoyed it. Until next Tuesday, hope you have a good one and take it easy. Hey there, thank you for checking this out. If you enjoyed it, share with friends, drop a like button, leave a comment. Also, be a champ and hit that subscribe button. You can also check me out on social media, Facebook at Ronald Ray, on X or Twitter is RPATRPTV46. Until next time.
So long from the peach state of Georgia.